Hey there, Stampers. Happy Friday. Today I am here to share with you a fun little gift idea, and it includes packaging, and the bonus is that it's mailable. Well, one of the versions is mailable anyways. It's always nice when you can come up with ideas that you could pop in the mail to somebody as well, especially now when you don't see as many people as often. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Canada, and every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, I go live with a crafting project with you. So welcome. Today I'll be crafting with the Peace and Joy bundle, which includes this stamp set and the coordinating dies from the August to December 2020 mini catalog. Love, love, love this bundle. And I'll be combining it with these celebration labels dies. So those dies are actually found, let me share where you can find them, because I think they're dies that are overlooked. So on page 58 of the mini catalog, they are these ones here, and they do have a stamp set that coordinates with them, but it's the dies that I find incredibly versatile. I think the stamp set is really great too, because it's got some fall, Christmas, some generic grateful and Halloween type images and greetings in it. But it's the dies that I'm really going to focus on this morning. Okay. All right. Good morning, Shirley, Anna, Sheila, Kim. Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are all having a good start to your day. Okay. I'm going to move some of these things out of the way. Now, I did a version of this project at my team meeting this week, and I had an extra kit, so I thought I would switch it up just a little bit and create a version of it for you guys as well. So the base of my packaging is actually going to be one of our clear envelopes. So this is another product that many of you may not have seen in the catalog. I know I get questions all the time when people see these. So these fit a standard size card perfectly. And then you just peel this back, fold it over, and it seals. And they are in Canada mailable. But you can find them on page 153 of the annual catalog under medium envelopes. They're the clear ones. So they come in a package of 50 and they're only $8.25. So they're really inexpensive. But we're going to use that as the base of our packaging today. Good morning, Christine. Okay, and then I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut 2 of those labels from the Celebration Labels dies. So these are the dies here. You can see that these are really quite large, and they do stitching on the inside, but then also on the negative space as well, so you can create some fun windows with those. So I used the 3rd largest and the 4th largest. This one I cut from the Heartwarming Hugs DSP, which is one of the patterned papers that's on sale this month. And this one I cut from some vellum cardstock. Okay, so that's where we're starting from. And let's go ahead and, let's do this part first. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my paper trimmer because I'm gonna do a little bit of scoring here. So you can see on here, let me just grab a piece of white so you can see the contrast. You can see on here that there's little notches here and here. So on all 4 sides. That makes it really easy to score and fold. So I am going to score from this notch to this notch. So I'm just going to line those up with the track on my paper trimmer and use my scoring blade. So on this paper trimmer, it's the light gray one that scores. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my vellum piece. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Shauna. Okay, so for my vellum, I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Actually, and you want to be careful on your DSP as well. You don't want to push too hard because it's a little bit more fragile than cardstock. Okay, so now I will grab my bone folder and fold along those score lines, just making sure that these ends line up. and they should. Make that nice and crisp. And then do the same for this one. Good morning, Joy. Let's see, do I want red out or do I want stripes? I think I'm going to try stripes out this time. Okay. All right, now we are going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this flap over. Let me make sure that, yeah, folding it the right way. Let's peel this back. Stick this over, and I'm going to use my bone folder to make it nice and crisp. Okay, so I'm trying to fold at the top of where the pocket ends. So I've got that. Just use my bone folder just to make it a little bit more crisp, and that is so not straight. Okay, let's try it this way. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now I'm going to put some adhesive, and I'm going to use our seal adhesive, and this is going to go over the top. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure my flap is at the back. Okay, so I'm going to adhere the front first. So the front doesn't really matter where you put your adhesive. So I'm going to do a couple strips just like that. Position this in the center, and then fold it over. Okay, and then in the back, because you want to be able to open this flap and not have to rip open the packaging. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the adhesive too low to the bottom. I'm going to put it closer to the top and then push down, and that way when I grab my flap, I can open it up without damaging the packaging. So that way, if the end user figures that out, they can reuse the packaging. And I always try to get creative with ways to do things like that so that they can, so the end user can re-gift something that I give them. Because it's, I mean, you go to all that effort to make these projects, right? They're so beautiful. If you can spark more joy by allowing the end user to re-gift it to somebody else, that's even better, right? Okay, so now I'm going to use a little bit of adhesive on this piece. And this is going to go in the center, right here. Now you can see the adhesive there, but I'm not too worried because I'm going to cover that over. You are going to be able to see it at the back. It really varies on how much you can see the adhesive based on the color of patterned paper you're using. Okay, so that's going to be the base. Now we're going to decorate this to make it a little bit pretty. So I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to take the stamp Bright from the Peace and Joy, and I'm going to stamp it with Bold Olive. I love this stamp set and bundle because there's so many different options for these words. So you can use this fine die individually. You can use it layered once or layered twice. You can use the stamp and then die cut it. You can use the stamp and then die cut it and then layer it. There's just so many different options. Okay, so this is going to go right on here. And we can close this up. Okay, so now I'll take the die that coordinates with this. So this is this one here. And you can see that that lines up perfectly. And when you run it through your die cutting machine, you end up with that. All right. Now, this I want to pop up using dimensionals. So let me grab some mini dimensionals here. Pop a few of these on here. I could have actually also, in hindsight, I could have actually used my foam adhesive sheets and stamped on white and then added those to the back of my white cardstock before I die cut it. And then I would have a fully, it would be like a foam word. That would have been cool. I'm gonna have to try that. I haven't actually tried it with these dies, but I think it would work with this one. I'm not sure it would work with the really fine ones because it is very fine, but it would definitely work with these. Okay, so this is gonna go right in here. I'm gonna go a little bit lower. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring back my scrap piece of white. I'm gonna bring in some real red cardstock, and I'm going to stamp the word Mary and the word and. And then I'm going to bring in some Pear Pizzazz ink and the holly leaves. And stamp those. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper snips and just freehand snip around these two words. These are really easy to just cut out like this. I love these types of greetings. I remember there's a set that came out last year. It was the ornament set. It did carry over this year, so it is in the catalog, but there's, I think the greeting was Merry Christmas that was in it, and it was bold like this. And I think that was my favorite greeting last year. I used it so much. I love the look of it. They're just so simple. Okay, so then I will add a little bit of adhesive behind these two pieces and add my Mary there and my and on this side of the eye, just like that. And then my holly leaves, I've gone ahead and I've cut those out. And there is some berries, there are some berries in here, but instead of using those for this particular project, I'm actually going to use some red rhinestones as my berries. So I'm going to use my bone folder to just kind of curl these up and give them a bit of dimension. And then I think I'll use a mini glue dot to stick these two together. Just like that. This is going to go on here, kind of tucked right in there. And then I'll grab 3 little rhinestones. And put those on there. So this right here is really cute packaging. So now we're going to create something to go inside of this. And then I'm going to share another idea that you can use it for. So isn't that cute? And it's so simple. So like I said, you could tuck many different things in here, but we'll brainstorm about that in a minute. First, we're going to move on to the next project. And actually, while you guys are watching, maybe you can post some suggestions on what you would put inside this little packaging. Okay, so let me pull out my next pieces. All right, so this piece here, I don't want to wreck this. Let's just set it aside here. Okay, so this is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. It measures 2 3/4 by 4 inches. And I'm going to take this Joy die and bring in my die cutting machine and cut that out. So this is our new stamp and cut and emboss. Thanks for sharing, Jean. So for those of you guys who aren't aware, I do a giveaway for the project that I make most Fridays, as long as it's mailable. And if you share my video, you get 5 entries. And just by commenting and participating in the conversation, you get 1 entry. So I'm just trying to line this up so it's relatively straight, kind of in the center. And that just lip balm, that's a good idea. Oh, and Carol wants candy in hers. I just realized I forgot to draw for last week's. I will do that after this Facebook Live. I will draw for last week's project and post the winner. Okay. Move this guy out of the way. And my mat is all crooked now. Okay, so we're going to pop this out. And so now I've got the word joy. And this piece I'm going to pop out and save for a different project, for the next project that we make. This is in there quite tight this time. Normally I don't have this much of a problem getting these out of here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to use those on that on a different project. Okay, so now we're going to work with this negative space. Hand sanitizer, that is a good idea and very relevant, Mary. Thanks for sharing, Carol. Okay. Oh, a package of Kleenex, yes. All right. Okay, so this one here, what I'm going to do, I need another scrap of Whisper White. So I'm going to pull this in and I'm going to bring back my holly leaves and I'm going to stamp those in Pear Pizzazz. I'm also going to stamp, for this one I'm going to use the berries. So I'm going to stamp those in Real Red. You can see that I use every last bit of my scraps. There's no wasting anything. Okay, and then I'm going to pull in the To the World. So that's another one of those solid images. And I'm going to stamp that with Memento. And then we're going to cut these out. I always find it easier to cut things if I cut it out of a larger piece first. So that's why I'm trimming it down just a little bit smaller first before I cut. Shared twice, Joy. Wow, thanks. Yes, and I'm thankful that you guys are letting me know that you shared because I can't always see who shares. It will tell me how many times it's been shared, but it doesn't always, depending on your privacy settings, it doesn't always tell me who shares. Okay, and then I've gone ahead and cut these out so you don't have to watch me cut those finickier pieces. For this one, you notice that on the last one, I cut the leaves apart. For this one, I'm going to keep them together. So I left just a little bit of white in there. And then I cut out my berries and I did them all as one piece rather than 2 pieces, or rather than 3 pieces. And I just realized I forgot to cut a piece of cardstock. I need some Pear Pizzazz cardstock. So I'm just grabbing a scrap and I'm going to cut it down to 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. So this is going to make it just a tad bit smaller than my white piece. Okay, so these pieces we don't need. So now I'm going to take the this, flip it over, and I'm going to add some adhesive to this. And this green piece, oh, I guess I cut this the wrong size. I should have been 2 3/8. Not 2 5/8. Okay. So then this will just be a tad bit smaller. So you'll have a white border. Oh, I didn't measure it the right length either. That's okay. All right, and that just leaves a space, because if you guys haven't figured it out yet, we're making a tag. So this will leave some space and make it easy to write on the back of the tag. And I'm going to grab my 1/8 inch circle punch, punch a hole in the top. Actually, I'm going to do it in the side. And we'll save that because we're going to need that again. And now it's time to piece our projects together. Actually, we need one more thing. This is the ribbon from, let's see, I think it's called Wonder of the Season, the ribbon combo pack. And it's this gold cording, and it comes with a wide, I think it might be garden green, either garden green or shaded spruce ribbon as well. So I'm just going to tie a bow. I think this cording is something that you need. You need stuff like this fine trim. You know me and my baker's twine, linen thread, love, love, love. So this, I mean, you can never have enough of this kind of stuff. And especially at Christmas time, I love this kind of stuff. We need it in gold and silver every year, I think. Okay, so I'm going to use a mini glue dot. We're going to stick this bow on. And it's going to go right there. This is going to go on using dimensionals. So I'll just cut a mini dimensional in half. And we're going to pop this up. On to here, like so. And then this is going to go on here. So again, I'm going to take a couple mini dimensionals and put them kind of at the top of towards where those two holly leaves are joined, just because one of them is going to overhang the tag a little bit. And then this, I think I'll use a mini glue dot. So this is going to go right on here, just like that. So this is a nice simple tag. This is a little bit longer than I would have wanted. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay, so this tag, I wanted to cut it 2 3/4 by 4 inches, and I cut it 4 1/4. So that's why the measurement is a little bit off, but that's okay. All right, and then that twine, I'll take a little bit more of this, feed it through, and then just tie the ends. All right, so there is a quick and easy tag. It's so pretty. You could do it this way and use the word piece, because I think piece would fit on there. Bright actually might even fit on here. Yep, bright would fit on there too. So you could do a variety, use this same idea and do a variety of tags to fit inside. We're going to do another one with the word joy. So this time I'm going to start with another piece of Whisper White. This piece measures 2 by 3.5. Let me make sure I have this one right. 2 by 3.5, yes. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to freehand cut it so that it looks like a tag. So when I do that, I trim one corner and then take that scrap piece, flip it over and line it up with the other corner, and then use that as my guide. And that's kind of a cheater way to get the two sides so that they're relatively even. And then I'll take my 1/8 inch handheld punch, punch a hole in there. And then I've gone ahead and I've cut out, so this is the largest joy. This is the second one. So this is from Pear Pizzazz, this is from Real Red. And then that white piece that I had left over, that is going to go on top of that. Okay, so we are going to use some multi-purpose glue to stick this on. And I would have used adhesive sheets. I think my glue is almost gone. I would have used adhesive sheets, but I'm waiting for my order to come in. I ran out of them. Okay, I need a scrap piece of paper here. Let's get this going. There we go. So this is a bit, I prefer to use adhesive sheets with these fine little things, because then you don't have to worry about glue seeping out from the edges, and it's much faster. It's like making your own stickers. Okay, so this is going to go right on top of the red piece. Just like that, and then this will get a little bit of adhesive and go on top of the green. Look how nice that is. I love it. Okay, and then this is going to go on using dimensionals, and I finally pulled myself out some regular size dimensionals, so I don't always have to use the mini ones. And this is going to go on here, and actually I should probably do my stamping first. So let's pull out my greetings that I need. So I'm going to use Real Red and the word Christmas. I'm just going to kind of hold this in place to figure out where I need it, where I need to stamp it. And it's going to go right about there. And then I'm going to do to you and yours. And again, just kind of hold this in position to figure out where I need to stamp it. And that's going to go down here. Try to make sure it's relatively straight. And then I'm going to bring back my Pear Pizzazz. And I'm going to use the word sending. Right up there. Now I can take my joy and add that to the tag. And then we'll grab another piece of this gold twine. Feed it through and tie a knot. Okay, so then you could keep going and you could make a variety of them, but I've got 2 of each here, and then I'm going to bring back my packaging. First of all, before I tuck this into the packaging, I wanted to share the variety here. So here I showed how to use the negative space. Here I showed how to stamp and then die cut. And then here I showed how you could do all 3 layers. So it really is a very versatile die set, and especially when you mix it with the stamp set. Okay, so now I'm making sure that I peel back my envelope flap, and then we're going to tuck all of these inside. So I'm going to stack them so that I don't get anything caught. Tuck them in. And there's a set of 4 gift tags that you could easily pop in the mail. It would cost, it would be more than 1 stamp. It would be 2 stamps. So it would be a couple bucks to send in the mail in Canada. But isn't that a cute little package? It would be great for coworkers, maybe for a neighbor, or as a host gift. Not that we're gonna need a whole lot of those this year, but you know, it's just a nice surprise to send somebody in the mail. And then for those people who are closer to you, so again, you could do this idea for coworkers. You could leave it on their desk as a little surprise. So exactly the same packaging. I used the same paper, just a different pattern, and did the same embellishing. And then these are these Swiss Delice mini mountain bars from Costco. So I bought a big bag of those, and then I just wrapped some DSP around them to make it coordinate with the tag topper. The DSP, if you want to recreate these wrappers are 2 inches by 3.5. So you can cut those, and you can fit 6 of those nicely in one of these packages. So it's kind of a fun little gift idea. One of them you can mail, one of them, maybe if you're sending a parcel, you could tuck it in there as a little gift, but it would obviously cost a little bit more to mail. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Lots of fun ideas with this Peace and Joy bundle. I will post a link in the description above if you're watching on Facebook, or below if you're watching the replay on YouTube, a link to my Peace and Joy upcoming class, which my in-person classes are full, but it's still available virtually. So I'll post the information to that if you're interested. And in that class, we're making 4 cards using this bundle. All right. So thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous day. I will be back later today to post the winner of last week's project, because I completely forgot to do that before the live. And remember, if you are watching the replay, the more you comment, you get entered to win. I will send somebody this package. And if you share, for each time that you share, you get 5 entries. And just make sure that you comment that you did share so that I know that. All right? So thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian friends. Take care.